that is SCCM, Software Center Configuration Manager, right? So we will discuss the topics that we are going to cover under this course, right? In MCSA as well as in Software Center Configuration Manager. Okay. So let me give you a brief introduction of myself. So my name is Sahitya, and I'm working as a cloud operations engineer in a uh, multinational organization, and I do have around 6.5 years of experience in IT industry, and from last 2.6 years I am being I'm into training, and I'm giving training for MCSA and for Azure 104 administrator, right? So this is all about me. And if you're talking about the certification, so I am a certified MCSA as well as Azure 104, right? So this all about me, guys. Okay. So now, so as you can see, first of all, we are going to cover MCSA in this module, right? Where we are going to learn about servers, right? The features that we can install onto the servers, right? Yes, copy.
Sorry, sir. Background noise.
Yeah. Guys, if you have any query, then please unmute yourself and do let me know. Okay. Unless just keep mute yourself. Okay. So in MCSC, we are going to learn about servers, right? And then later on, we will be moving to the SCCM part, right? See, because why we introduce this course, why MCSA plus SCCM? Because SCCM is basically you will be able to configure the SCCM only when you will be able to work on servers. When you have the prior knowledge of servers, then only we can work on, we can configure SCCM, and we can understand the concepts which comes under Software Center Configuration Manager. Okay, so this is why it is the prerequisite to learn MCSA or to learn the features of servers, and then later on we can go with the SCCM part. Okay, so first of all, let me show you whatever the topics that we are going to cover under MCSA. So I'm going to explain one by one, right? And uh, I do like this session is going to be interactive for other like once we'll start this course, right? So it is going to be an interactive session. Okay, wherever you have any query, you can just unmute yourself and you can straight away ask your query, and definitely I'll try to resolve your issues. Okay, and even uh, let's suppose if I'm doing any lab, right? So you can just you can do lab, you can perform your labs with me, so that so that if you're facing any issues during your lab configuration, so over there also I will be able to help you out. Okay. Now, see, obviously you know about that certification is not there for MCSA. Okay, so we are not going to write any exam for MCSA, right? So we are just going to learn about servers. We are just going to learn about the configuration that can be done on the servers, right? So certification is already retired by the Microsoft itself, so it is not needed. But if you want the certification, so you can go for Azure. Okay, now, so this MCSA is going to be uh, f- this will it will take around 50 to 55 plus hours to complete all the topics that comes under MCSA, right? And then for SCCM also it will take around 30 to 35 hours to complete whole module. So MCSA includes three parts, that is 740, 741 and 742, right? So earlier, if you want to get the certification, right, so you have to appear for these three exams, and once you will be able to clear the exam, then only you will get the certification. Okay, but yes, now no need to get the certification. You can just directly go to Azure. But yes, you should have the prior knowledge of servers so that you will be able to clear your certification if you are going for Azure. Okay. So first of all, the major part in the servers, that is Active Directory, AD, right? So first of all, we'll configure the Active Directory, and to configure the Active Directory, we should have the domain controllers first of all, right? And there are multiple types of domain controllers, that is primary domain controller, and then your additional domain controller, then your child domain controller, and the read only domain controller, RODC. Okay, so we are going to configure it one by one, and then we will talk about the DNS server. We will configure the DNS zones also, right? And then we will talk about the group policy, right? To make your infrastructure secure or to have the control of all your infrastructure. So we should configure the group policies, right? So whatever the common group policies are being configured in the organization, we are going to talk about that, as well as we do have the we will be having multiple templates of your group policies, right? That can be implemented into the infrastructure. So as per our need, we can just deploy our policy. Okay. So then there could be multiple type of domain controllers. So how the trust is happening between them, right? So that also we will talk about. So what are trust? Because see, if you're going for an interview, so there interviewer can ask that what is the trust? Let's suppose you're configuring any ADC, additional domain controller, or you're configuring any child domain controller. So in that case, what type of trust will be configured between primary domain and the child domain, right? So we will talk about the type of trust and how it is configured. So it may be like scenario will be like you have to create the trust between two forests. Two forests means, let's suppose two companies are merging together. So in that case, we can just create the trust between two forests, between two different domains, so that the users of one domain will be able to log in onto second, and second domain will be able to log in onto one, vice versa. Okay, so that comes under trust. Then we do have these are the domain controller type, that is RODC, then ADFS, configuring Active Directory Federation Services. Okay, so this is the configure GPO templates, group policies that I was talking about, right? So there are multiple templates when once you will configure the primary domain controller, so you will get multiple templates over there. So as per your need, you can implement your dedicated policy, right? Then account policy, let's suppose you have a user, you want to set the password length for that particular user, you have to set the password complexity for that particular user. So that also we can do, right? So you have seen in your internet banking, you will not be able to use your previous passwords. Let's suppose if I've already used a password, right? So in case of internet banking, I am not be able to use my previous password, because there is a account policies applied onto my account. So same thing we can do through our Active Directory also, right? So that users will not be able to use their previous password, so they have to create a unique password, right? So this comes under our account policy. Then how to take the backups. Let's suppose if there is any issue with our Active Directory, so how we will be able to restore it, right? So that for that we have to configure the backup, as well as we will talk about the recovery also. So this all, whatever the topic I am talking about, so this all based on the labs, right? So first of all, we will understand the concept, we will talk about the concept, and later on we will do the lab for each of the topic. Okay, now AD certificate services. So this is also the major part. Okay, how certificates work, or how you will be able to trust onto the second any website, or how to make your website secures. So for that we have to create a certificate, right? Then the 741 exam, under which we will again talk about DNS and the DHCP configuration, that is dynamic host configuration protocol, right? Then we will be able to configure the routing also. Let's suppose if you want to configure any local routing, local network routing, right? So that also we can configure in our servers. So server also can act as a router. Okay. Now again, this DNS zones, network policy server, or VPN server also we will configure under this, right? We will configure a radius server as well. So this is the file and print services. If you want to configure your print server, right, so that hundred of users will be able to access that particular print server, and they will be able to give the print command. So for that we have to set up the print server, and that print server can be accessed centrally. Okay. So we do have multiple topics, right? So whatever the features are available in your server, so we are going to touch upon each of the feature. So major topic is WSUS also. That comes under your patching activities. So if you want to patch your servers, or if you want to patch your end devices, it can be Windows 10, it can be Windows 7, Windows 11 servers itself. So for that we can push the patches from our WSUS server. Okay. So then deploy services, which is called as Windows deployment service. So if you want to install any Windows in your office laptop, right? So that can be deployed through your WDS server. You need no to connect a pen drive onto your new laptop. You just need to connect your LAN wire onto laptop, and then you will be able to boot that laptop from your network drive, right? And then your WDS services will be in the picture, and they are going to install the operating system onto your laptop, right? So that comes under your deploy servers, which is Windows deployment services. Okay. Then web server, to hosting any of your website, or we will configure load balance also. Let's suppose if number of users are hitting your website, right, and your server is not able to respond, or your server is not able to respond the queries of the users. So in that case, we have to set up the load balance, so that two servers will balance the load simultaneously. And if server is getting overloaded, so second server will start responding to the client's queries, right? So that is called the load balancing, and that also we will configure in the web server feature. Okay. So these are the topics. Other than that, so in my previous batches, I used to create an Excel sheet, right? And we used to track our topics through this Excel sheet. So whatever the topics we will cover, I used to green it so that we will be able to understand that yes, we have covered the topic, right? So this also, let me explain it. So first of all, we will talk about the introduction of MCSA and how we will going to deploy our labs or how we are going to configure our labs, right? Then type of DCs that we will configure, that can be PDC, ADC, CDC, and RODC. Then Active Directory, then domain and OU delegation, RSET, that is remote server administration tools, then group policy, then AD administrative center, DSCP, DSCP failover, DSCP relay agent, FTP web server, and then network load balancing cluster in case of web server, then profile and folder redirection, types of trust, NAT, file and print management, VPN, VPN with NPS, VPN with radius server, then remote desktop services, data duplication, BitLocker, FSRM, storage, FSMO roles, shadow copies, DFS replication and namespace, WSUS, FSMO roles, seize and transfer, then your AD migration or upgradation, and then ADFS backup, WDS and sysprep, RAID configuration, nano server, AD sites and services, IFM, IPAM, failover in case of file server, DNS, forest and domain function level, ADCS, NIC teaming, and last one is PowerShell. So these 45 topics we are going to cover under this whole module. Right, for now I'm not able to explain each and every topic, right? We will talk about once we'll start our classes. I will be able to explain each and every topic. Okay, for now I'm just giving just a overview whatever the topics we are going to cover under this course, right? And how to configure our labs. So for that we are going to use virtualization, right? So we do have multiple virtualization tool available that can be installed in your base laptop, and onto that you will be able to create your multiple virtual machine, right? So in my case, or if you want, you can use Hyper-V, or you can use VirtualBox, or you can use VMware also. Or if you don't want to configure these labs onto your base laptop, so same thing we can do it on Azure as well, right? So on Azure also you can create the labs, you can configure your labs, whatever the feature we will configure in our server. So onto Azure also you can configure the same features. But for that you have to create an account, right? And then you can configure the labs. So if you have a good configuration of laptop, so in that case you can install the VMware or Hyper-V in your laptop, right? And then over there you can configure the multiple virtual machines. So, so this is VMware in my case, right? And these are the number of virtual machines that I have created under this VMware, right? So, so this is the tool through which we are going to configure our MCSA lab, right? And now just moving on to the SCCM part, right? We will talk about all these things later on also, but for today, I'm just going to give a brief introduction about the SCCM as well. Okay, so just go back to this SCCM introduction. Hmm. Yep. So as we designed this module, as we designed as a combo pack of MCSA and SCCM, right? So after covering MCSA, we will be moving up to the SCCM, or it will be MECM. So this is one and same thing, right? So earlier we used to call it as SCCM, but now it is renamed, or it is um, like they have changed their name, and it is now MECM. Okay, so need not to confuse that what SCCM and what MECM is. So these are one and same thing. This is Software Center Configuration Manager, and this is Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, right? देखो, now why I'm taking this SCCM after MCSA, because see, in SCCM also we have to configure the domain controller, we have to make a SQL server, we have to make a SCCM server. So this is why it is a prerequisite that you should have the hands-on experience or the working experience on the servers, so that you can work on SCCM also. Okay, so this is the uh, topics that we are going to cover under. Maybe for now you will not be able to understand, right? So we have around 14 modules under SCCM. Okay, so these are the topics that we are going to cover. Yes, PowerShell also be there in the MCSA. I will let you know about PowerShell. Okay. So overview of SCCM Center 1606 family and products, benefits of implementing System Center, overview of the configuration manager, what is central, primary and secondary site, introduction manager site system roles, how data flows and replicates in hierarchy, monitoring site and component status, and then planning a System Center standalone primary site. Okay, so just we'll talk about why this SCCM is needed. If like for hours as a system administrator, why SCCM is needed for you? Because see, it is a tool through which you can manage your whole infrastructure. So SCCM, yeah, it would be around 30 to 35 hours. Yes, content is already there. So this is the content only, right? Once you will be able to get this content online also on the website, networking's website, right? And even I'll try to paste it in the chat box as well. Okay. So first of all, let's understand why SCCM. Why should we learn SCCM? Okay. So it is the industry platform for managing devices in an enterprise solution environment. Yes, Ankur, we will cover Office 365 as well later on, right? Okay, so it is a managing devices in an enterprise environment. So you can manage multiple things under this MECM or SCCM. Means if you want to deploy the operating system, if you want to install any software, if you want to do patching, if you want to do monitoring, or if you want to do asset metering, right? So this is just few things I'm just talking about, but it has a huge functionality, right? So it can do, let me open one more thing so that over there also you will be able to understand it. Mm, yeah, see, what can SCCM do? Windows 10 management, right? Software updates, application delivery, device management, endpoint protection, and then compliance and setting management, software update management, client power management, operating system deployment, client health monitoring, asset intelligence, inventory, and so on, reporting. So these are the some operations that we can perform under the SCCM module, right? Software update management also, that WSUS I was talking about, right? So that also we can do. And this operating system deployment, let's suppose I want to deploy any uh, operating system, I want to install any operating system into a laptop. So through SCCM I can do it. I can monitor my whole infrastructure. I can see if any of the machine is not in the compliance state, right? So I will be able to get the information about that particular machine, and I can make the machine as compliant one, right? I can do asset intelligence. I can do software monitoring, software metering. Software metering, let's suppose I have installed one software onto the client machine, right? And my manager asks, I want that how many hours that user is working onto that particular software, or for how long that user is working on that particular software. So I can let the manager know by the asset metering tool that comes under SCCM. I can manage my whole inventory. Let's suppose my manager asks that how many laptops are in the Bangalore office or how many laptops are in the Delhi office. So I can prepare the inventory also. See, this SCCM is basically for big size or medium size organizations. Maybe small size organization they will not configure it, they will not install it. But if I'm talking about any big organization which have around 40 to 50,000 of assets into their organization, so for that they have to configure the software center configuration manager. Okay, now let's get back to the slide. Okay, so it is a mature tool and is in the market from last 25 years. So it was initially introduced in 1994, right? And initially it was called as SMS. Let me go to paint, right? So it was introduced 1994 and called as SMS. right? So from 1994 it is in the market, right? And MECM holds 43% market share, means 43% market is being held by the, or 43% companies are using SCCM into their environment, right? So almost all big size and medium size companies has implemented MECM. Less number of competitors, so we do not, there is not any competitor, right? Then if you talk about the vacancies, if you talk about the jobs, so there are multiple jobs available for the SCCM administrator. Or even if you are nowadays, if you are going for a system administrator interview also, so you should have the knowledge of servers, you should have the knowledge of active directory, you should have the knowledge of group policy, DNS, DHCP. Now they are asking for SCCM also, right? Let me show you. So I do have like, you can go to the Naukri portal and let's search for the job. Okay, let me search for system administrator, right? Or you can search for SCCM also. So you can see around 45,000 jobs are there, right? And let me refine it with the latest one. Mm, yeah, let me refine it with the last 7 days. Okay. So there are around 4,800 jobs. So the big companies, they kept Gemini, right? So they are also asking for the SCCM. This desktop endpoint engineer, they are also asking for the SCCM, right? You can see this job also. See, strong in Windows Active Directory, good knowledge of Azure Active Directory, and then good knowledge on Windows Server administrating SCCM, MS Intunes, and Windows Desktop Server. So if you are going to cover this whole module, means whatever the combo we have introduced, MCSA plus SCCM, definitely you can apply for this job and you will be able to crack it. So whatever they have asked, we are going to cover under this course. Okay, and you can see it's a big organization, Capgemini. And same way we do have multiple openings of SCCM onto the multiple organization, right? So you can see the senior analyst IT, immediate joiner required. Okay, so here also you can see they're asking for the SCCM patching. Okay, so what I am trying to explain you is, in this whole module, in this whole combo, right, we will be covering each and every topic of system administration as well as of system center configuration manager, so that if you are going for any interview, definitely you will be able to crack it. And I will be able to, I will be helping you out, guys, the with the interview question also. They, but interview questions they used to ask, so I will helping you with that all as well. right? I have prepared some interview questions, so which I will upload it onto your portal, right? And once you will be able to get the concept, once you will be able to complete the module, so later on you can just go through with that questions, and you can just analyze yourself that how much you are good into servers as well as into configuration manager, right? So we do have multiple openings available for this role. Then you can find jobs on multiple job portals like Naukri, Indeed, LinkedIn, etc. It is the third largest selling product of Microsoft. So Microsoft is a big player, right? So first product is operating systems. Second is Office 365, Office, right? And third one is this SCCM. Okay. Then it is easy to learn because totally it is graphical user interface. Totally it is graphical based, right? We will be getting the feature, we will be getting the options to configure each and every role, right? So you need no to have programming language knowledge or like coding knowledge. You need no to worry about that because it is totally based on the graphical. But if you will ask, then I would recommend you to go for PowerShell. PowerShell also we will cover under our MCSA module, right? Because PowerShell will gonna help you out in this, right? And then we'll stay in the market for at least 10 years. So this SCCM is going to be stay in the market for another 10 years and so on. Because for now, there is no competitor available for this product. There are multiple patching softwares available like Ivanti and then your Automox. Patching products, there are multiple patching products are available. But if you will talk about these all feature that you can do all these things with a single software, with a single point of solution, right? So this only can be done under the SCCM only. Okay. So we do have around 14 modules for this course. Okay. 15, sorry. So we need to understand these modules one by one. Okay, what are primary sites, what are secondary site? So whenever you are going for SCCM, whenever you are configuring SCCM for your infrastructure, right? So first of all, we have to set up a primary site, right? And that for primary site, we have to create a database also, an SQL server also. And for these labs, guys, I would recommend if you want to configure in your own laptop, so you should have 32 GB RAM onto your laptop. If you do not have, need not to worry. So onto lab networking's labs also you will be able to configure your SCCM features, right? So I have already created a lab, right? So over there I'll show you.
16 GB वर्क करेगा सर?
16 GB. Oh, one, two, three,
गेमिंग
four.
लैपटॉप है
No,
उसमें
because we will be needing 4 servers at a time.
अच्छा
We will be needing 4 virtual machines at a time. So I would recommend 32 GB if you have in your laptop, then it is okay. But if you do not have, need not to worry. I will give you, I will give you the uh, preview of like I will give you two options. Okay, either you can configure it in your in the labs, networking labs, or you can configure the same servers onto the Azure also. So these both practicals, these both labs, I will show you practically. Okay. So as per your need, as per your convenience, you can configure your labs.
Yes.
I will help you out to configure your labs on Azure also, and as well as on your networking labs also.
Okay.
Okay. So let me show you. So this is the lab that I have created for SCCM, right? One is domain controller, one is SQL server, and one is SCCM, right? And one will be the client machine. Like I need to test also, na?
सर इस लैब का एक्सेस कब तक रहेगा सर?
I think this Lexus you will get it for 2 months, I believe. But you can if you can check with networking team also for this.
ये अगर फर्दर प्रैक्टिस
को,
करते हैं तो फिर
को, कॉस्ट ड्यूरेशन क्या है सर?
It will be 1 month. This SCCM only 1 month, and then we do have MCSA also. Okay, so it will take around 3 months to complete all the modules, MCSA as well as SCCM, or we will talk about the Office 365 as well.
सर टोटल 15 मॉड्यूल्स कंप्लीट.
For SCCM, 15 modules are there.
या
Okay, and for MCSA, I have showed you these are the topics that we are going to cover under MCSA. If you have already done MCSA, then you can go for only SCCM. If you do not have knowledge of servers, then I would recommend to go with the combo batch, right? So first we will talk about the servers, we will talk about the configuration that can be made on the servers, and then we will talk about the software center configuration manager, SCCM. Guys, it is widely used. SCCM, I would recommend you all, right? So this is widely used in the organization. If you are working in your organization, you can also check. Definitely you are using that product into your organization also, right? So it has multiple features. Let's suppose if I want to take the remote of any system, I can configure the remote configuration also, RC also. I can take the remote control of any system through my SCCM portal. I can install any software from backend. Let's suppose I got a request from any user that user wants uh, Adobe Acrobat in his system. So I need no to go to his machine, or I need to go to physically onto that onto that user's desk, right? I can just directly install the software through backend.
ओके तो सर ये जो SCCM सॉफ्टवेयर है वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट सर्वर का ही पार्ट है या इसके लिए हमें अलग से लाइसेंस लेना होता है?
Yes, you have to get the license, right? But for our cases, we will be working on the trial licenses.
ओके
Microsoft offers a trial license also, right? So we will be working on the trial license.
ओके
But if you are working in the production environment, then you should get the license. You have to get the license.
ओके ओके
Sahitya, are we having any modules for Office 365 and Exchange Server?
For now, it is not there, but very soon you will be able to get it.
Okay.
Okay. For now, we do have the module for this one, your MCSA and SCCM. Okay. But later on, you will get the Office 365 module also.
Okay, one more thing. Can you please share the this Excel file for course content? What
Yeah,
you are
definitely. See, onto the networking website also, whatever the content I'm going to teach, it is there, right?
okay?
But don't worry, once you will going to enroll into the course, so
Mm-hmm.
I will be creating a classroom onto Google Drive, right?
Okay.
Over there,
Okay.
I used to upload all the PPTs and all the related modules, all the PDF books, interview questions, assignments. So everything will be onto the Google Classroom Drive.
Okay. And if we have any question or any query, so we can, ask on classes time and after finish the class.
Right. So what I used to do, I used to give around 15 minutes after my the class. If
Okay.
let's suppose I have completed a topic, so I
Okay.
used to give 15 minutes. So over there you will be able to get your queries, resolve your queries, whatever your
Oh,
questions is, you can ask over there.
okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I have
Yes.
Eve engine installed on my system. So can I practice this lab on that Eve engine?
No.
Why?
Uh, See, what's the configuration of that laptop?
It has 8 GB RAM.
No, SCCM you will not be able to do it because at a time we have to turn on 4 virtual machines, right? So I
So
don't think EVNG will it will support 8 GB RAM will not
okay.
support all the virtual machines, all the images that you are that is installed in your EVNG, right? So that will not going to support.
16
Okay.
GB में हो
Okay.
ही नहीं रहा 3 GB में कैसे होगा?
सर वो
Okay.
प्रैक्टिकल
Now,
कैसे होगा?
okay. We will have the session like you can ask your query later on also. When is MCSA Feb batch starting and timing? Ashish, it is going to start from Monday. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Hello,
what
sir.
about timing?
Yes.
I have one doubt last.
Hmm.
I think this is a demo class, right?
This is just a introductory session, whatever the topics that we are
Okay,
going to cover. Demo sessions we are
okay,
going to take later on
okay, right. And when the class will start,
from
classes
Monday
will start.
itself,
Acha, from Monday. What are the times?
10 o'clock night.
Same timing, night.
Yeah, right.
Okay, chalo, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
So first we will cover MCSA topics. Okay. See, first of all, you have to create your base, right? And your base will be you will be able to create your base from the MCSA, right? And then you will be able to opt SCCM, or guys, you can enroll yourself for Azure 104 also, right? So we are running the batches for Azure 104 as well. So if you want, because see, anyhow you have to learn cloud also, because nowadays cloud is on boom, and definitely whatever the infrastructure, whatever the on-prem infrastructure of organization, they are going to move their infrastructure onto the cloud. So either can be Azure or it can be on AWS, right? So after learning MCSA you can join 104 as well. Okay.
सर
So yes.
सर टोटल क्लास इंग्लिश में होगी?
It depends. अगर आप लोगों को चाहिए हिंदी में, so we can take the classes in Hindi also.
सर हिंदी में होनी चाहिए सर, मैथ सर हिंदी में भी।
हाँ, ये we will decide this later on.
और सर
Okay.
एक डाउट और है सर, एक डाउट
हम्म
और है।
हम्म
तो सर जैसे मेरी सीसीएन क्लास भी चल रही है,
Okay.
तो सर मेरी लिनक्स भी है, जैसे मतलब सैटरडे संडे वीकेंड में मेरी लिनक्स भी है।
हम्म
तो सर एमसी ऐसे भी है मेरी। तो सर मैं इसके
Okay.
साथ ही लूंगा ना, सीसीएन के साथ में ही, जैसा अधीरज सर लेते हैं 8 से 9 जो हमारी सीसीएन क्लास है,
हम्म
और
हाँ
10
तो
से
ठीक है, ये
ये
तो
हो
10
जाएगी।
बजे के बाद है ना। हाँ,
यस सर। तो सर ये मतलब हमारी क्लास है ना 10 बजे से ही।
राइट।
और सर हिंदी में नहीं रहेगी सर ये, मतलब हिंदी में भी?
These things we'll decide later on, Vaibhav. Okay. First of all,
ओके
let me
सर।
just show you the prerequisites. Okay. So that in your
ओके
next
सर।
class, you will be
और
able to
सर
install this.
सर वन क्वेश्चन सर,
Hmm.
सर आपने अभी जो सिस्टम की डिटेल्स बताई कि इतना मतलब 8 GB 16 GB होना चाहिए, अगर वो सिस्टम अवेलेबल ना हो तो सर फिर प्रैक्टिकल कैसे होगा सर हमारा टोटली?
This is what I explained. You can use networking labs also,
अच्छा,
right?
तो
You will
इसका
get
एक्सेस
access of networking labs, right? Over there, you can configure the servers. Or if you want to create your account on Azure, so you can do the same thing on Azure also. Okay.
अच्छा
सर मुझे
ओके
सिर्फ SCCM की क्लास लेनी थी सर। MCSC मैंने आपका अटेंड किया हुआ
Okay.
है, सिर्फ इसके लिए मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा सर?
So you can talk to team. You can talk to a networking team, so they will help you out on it.
So this SCCM class will be starting, I believe, once you finish the MCSA.
Exactly. Because I have to I have to create your base first of all. Directly, I will not be able to shift onto the SCCM. First, we will learn about servers and then we will configure the SCCM. Okay.
सर मैं
If
क्लास को ज्वाइन करने में लेट हो गया था, तो मुझे
hmm,
इसकी डिटेल्स वगैरह कहाँ मिलेगी सर?
the session is on YouTube itself, right? And it is going to be uploaded onto your portal also, so you can watch the video again.
सर ऑफिशियल साइट पे होगा सर या यूट्यूब चैनल पे?
Networking's YouTube channel पे you will be able to get it. ठीक है?
ओके सर,
और आपके
ओके
पोर्टल पे भी अपलोड हो जाएगा.
ओके
Okay. So first of all, for MCSA, so as I told you, we have to work on the virtualization, right? So we will be working on VMware, or you can you can work on Hyper-V also. If you have Windows 10 Pro in your laptop or Windows 10 Enterprise in your laptop, so in that case you will be getting the Hyper-V inbuilt. But if you are using Windows 10 Home version, in that case I will give you a script. So you have to just run that script on your laptop and that Hyper-V will be installed in it. Okay. So you can work on Hyper-V as well if you want. Hyper-V Manager. So this is also a virtualization tool where we can create multiple virtual machines. So as I created on my VMware, as same way I can configure the virtual machines onto my Hyper-V as well. Okay. So let's
ओके सर,
suppose if you are using VMware, so that can be easily installed from that can be easily downloaded from the website. Okay. So you can just go to the browser and you need to type download VMware workstation, or you can go with Pro. So for now you can go with the you have to just select download now and then you can install it, right? Again, this is for 30 days. It is a 30-day trial version, right? And later on I will give you a subscription key from where you will be able to activate this product, and then it will not going to ask you for any of the product key. Okay, you just just pasting this link onto your chat. Give me a moment. Okay, so this one is the link to download VMware. Right now you will be needing ISO images also for the Windows operating system, right? And same way you need to type download Windows Server 2016. We do have 2019 also or 2022 also, so you can work on either of the operating system, so that will not make any change, right? And from the here you have from there you have to download the ISO image. So 64-bit edition we need to download. It will ask you for some general query. Okay, it is not asking for me because I have already logged in. Okay, so this ISO will be needed, right? And same way we need to download the ISO for Windows 10 as well, right? So you need to go to again download Windows 10 Enterprise Edition. So here you have to download it for 64-bit. So these are the prerequisite guys for MCSA and even for your SCCM also. We will be needing the servers and we will be needing the client machines. Okay, so first we will download the server 16 image and then we will download the Windows 10 image, and that can be easily available onto the Microsoft website. And it is trial version for 6 months. It is not going to ask any of the key or any of the activation. So these three things you have to download. First of all, VMware, then Windows Server 16 ISO, and then Windows 10 ISO. So these will be helpful in your MCSA as well as in your SCCM.
Sir, is there any difference between this server 12 and server 16?
Yes.
What?
Server 16 has some more extra features, like in server 16 you can configure nano server.
Mm-hmm.
And then in server 16 there is an updated version of AD replica.
AD replica.
Right. So these are some
Um,
major difference between the 2012. But if you are talking about the um, accessibility, then 2012 R2 is more faster than 2016.
okay, because where I work, they are using this 2012.
Right. So even in nowadays also companies are using 2012 R2 because of the accessibility, because the read write speed and whatever the functions you perform under 2012 R2 are more faster than 2016 or 2019.
So one more question I have.
Hmm.
Like on Windows 11,
Hmm.
how can we install this VMware?
So the same thing you have to just you need to
Like the
go to
same
this.
script,
Yeah,
na?
same exactly.
Because I have that script already with me. Like
Hmm.
I used to use it in Windows 10.
Hmm.
Now I have to use it in Windows 11, so I can run the same script, na?
Exactly. For Hyper-V you're talking about, right? Not VMware.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Sorry for Hyper-V.
Yes, the same will work for Windows 11 also.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, today we talk about the topics of MCSA or the topics of SCCM, and then the prerequisite to perform our labs, that is ISO images and the software, the virtualization software, right? So if you have any query regarding any topic or if you want to ask anything, we are open for the discussion.
और सर इसमें NTFS परमिशन SMB फाइल परमिशन
Yeah, exactly. It's all thing we will talk about. File share,
एंड
SMB file share, 𝐊𝐲𝐬, right?
ओके
File server and failover file server, right? So everything we will talk about.
And what about events log?
Events log also.
Okay. Okay.
And see, I do have the PDFs for 2016 or this MCSA whole module. Okay, so I
Okay.
will
Okay.
provide you the book. Okay, over there also you can just dig deep dive into the topic, and you will
Sure.
be able to understand the concept.
Sure. Sure. Thank
Okay,
you.
and for each of the topic, I have prepared some PPTs, and then
Mm-hmm.
PPTs also you will be able to get it. You will get it onto your Google Classroom, and
Okay.
you can just go through with that, and you will be able to get the concept.
बिकॉज मेरे मैनेजर ने मुझे एक टास्क दिया हुआ है और
Hmm.
मेन ये कोर्स करने का रीजन भी यही था क्योंकि मेरे को उसके अंडरस्टूड नहीं था दैट्स व्हाई आई एम जॉइन दिस कोर्स
Don't
कि
worry.
हमें एक पॉलिसी बनाना है सर्वर के ऊपर जिसके थ्रू माइक्रोसॉफ्ट स्टोर के अंदर जो एप्लीकेशन हमें चाहिए हम उसे वाइट लिस्ट करें और उसके अलावा जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर हैं वो सारे के सारे ब्लैक लिस्टेड हो जाएं और हमें जो चाहिए सिर्फ उतना ही माइक्रोसॉफ्ट से इंस्टॉल्ड होए तो उसके लिए एक
Microsoft Store
पॉलिसी
से. Okay.
तो
हाँ
उसके लिए एक
हाँ.
पॉलिसी बनानी थी बट मैं उसको उसका टर्म ही नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ कि उसको एक्चुअल में अगर मुझे फाइंड करना तो हाउ टू फाइंड दिस टर्म एंड हाउ व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल नेम ऑफ दिस पॉलिसी दैट वेरी
Okay, okay.
बैड
Need not to worry about that. So we'll talk about it.
ओके ओके
Okay. Whatever your queries are, just do let me know between the class, so so that we can discuss on it.
ओके थैंक यू
Okay. Anything else you want to ask? Any confusion? So classes will be from Monday at 10 o'clock, right? And first we will cover MCSA and then we will cover SCCM if you are going for the combo, right? Or if you are already aware of MCSA, so then you can opt the SCCM batch only, SCCM module only.
No, we want to step by step because
Exactly.
I have a combo pack like MCSA, Azure, and O365.
Okay,
So
okay, okay,
we
okay.
want to go step by step.
Right, right, right. Exactly. So first we have to clear our base. The base will
Yes,
be
sir.
MCSA for both,
Yes, yes,
for Azure also and for your SCCM also. MCSA is the
yes.
base,
Yeah.
right? Once our
Mhm.
base will be clear, we can work on the Azure as well as on SCCM. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Chalo. So
Okay.
see you on Monday. So from Monday we are going to start our MCSA topic. Okay, we will talk about the VMs. I will let you know how to configure the virtual machines in case of Hyper-V or in case of VMware, right? And then we will talk about the domain controller types, and we will configure some domain controller also. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, do we study this F SFTP and FTP servers also?
Exactly, exactly. It is in my topic. See,
Both SFTP
FTP.
and FTP.
Yeah, SFTP is nothing. We have to just for SFTP, we have to configure the certificate. That's it. So that is the SFTP. Okay. So we will talk about
Okay.
both. Don't worry.
Okay,
So
sir.
you can see line number 12. It is FTP and web server. Okay. So we will
So
talk about
they
this
both
also.
are related to each other.
Yes, both are one and same thing. FTP is not secure, but SFTP is secure. FTP is file
They are
transfer
used
protocol.
for file transfer. Yes, I know.
Exactly. FTP is file transfer protocol and
And
SFTP
that
is
is
secure
secure
file transfer
file
protocol.
transfer protocol.
So in that case, your data will not travel in the plain text. It will be in the
Uh,
encrypted
zip
one.
file, yes.
Okay.
Password is installed on that file.
Re- वो अलग है. If you are talking about public and private key, that is other thing. Okay. But in this SFTP, the data will transferred in the encrypted form, and the user and any third user will not be able to read the text.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Anything else?
सर ये सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगी सर अभी SCCM क्योंकि मैंने MCS से कर लिया था आपका. Do I
Okay. Okay.
have another 1 or 2 months for SCCM of yours?
Sorry. Can you please come again?
मैंने तो आपका अटेंड किया हुआ था सर MCS से क्लास. सो
ठीक है.
SCCM के लिए मुझे आपसे ही क्लास लेना था. सो आई हैव टू वेट फॉर अनदर 2 months to because usually maybe you're going to finish this MCSA
In
I
2
believe 2
months,
months.
exactly. It will take around 2 months. But for SCCM, I'll talk with networking team if we can plan any weekend batch for dedicated for SCCM. So for you guys who are already aware of MCSA, so I'll plan a separate batch for you guys. Okay.
Okay sir, thank you. Because Azure तो मेरी चल रही है सर आपकी क्लास, तो Azure में तो
Okay.
हूँ.
Okay.
Okay sir, thank you.
Chalo. Then see you on Monday. Okay, guys. Bye. Good night. Take care. Thanks for joining the session.
Bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you.